Good morning. This is Jennifer from SmartPlan. I am the investment coordinator, and I will be your host today. Today's event is getting the most from your new SmartPlan site. So we just launched our new site. If you remember previously, we had two different websites, and so we've consolidated all of them into one convenient location. And so today what I'd like to do is just go over some of those features. Roy's not here with me today. He's just getting back from vacation, but he'll be back in on the webinar next week, so we look forward to hearing from him then. So what I'd like to start with is just at the top of the page right here. If you ever have to contact anyone at SmartPlan, you're not exactly sure who would get your information, or if you don't know our personal emails, you can always send it to info@smartplan.jupiter.com there. And here's our office number. And then at the top of the page here, we have subscribe. So what we would like you to do is click on subscribe, enter your email address, subscribe, and you'll get an email, and that email will ask you to confirm your email address that you do want to receive emails. And that's really important because that's how we communicate with our clients. That's how you receive our newsletters and updates about events and important news. So we try not to send too many emails out, about once to twice a month. Maybe I'll send out a reminder about Webinar Wednesday, but they're packed full of great information. The next thing I wanted to draw your attention to is here is the client portal login. We actually have two locations where you can do this, but it's right up at the top of the page. And that is usually for tax and accounting clients, and it's a secure way for them to send and receive, financial information, whether it be their tax documents or if we want to send them their financial statements. So that's a way they can log in and have that stuff stored online instead of going necessarily through their email account. We are on social media. We do have a Google Plus page. We haven't really got too much into Google Plus, but we do have a presence there. So if you would like to join us on Google Plus. We also have a Facebook page. This is a SmartPlan Financial Service page. Whenever we have a newsletter that gets sent out, it also gets posted right here onto our Facebook page. And then I also take this and I share it over on our SmartPlan Jupiter group page. So this is actually a business page, and then SmartPlan Jupiter is a group. And the reason we did that is because we find that our audience that we're trying to reach, we can do that better through a group. Whenever someone is in a group, they tend to get the updates as they happen, where Facebook has some funny things where you don't always get the updates on a business page like you would in a group. So that's why we have the two different pages. Roy's also on LinkedIn, so if you're on LinkedIn and you'd like to friend him there, that's his page. And then we do have a blog. Roy's son, Rob Roy, is in Atlanta, and he has an amazing blog. It's called The Financial Communicator, and he covers all different types of topics, taxes, investing, and all kinds of money things. So he has a blog there that we link to. So we're going to start here with our home page. We're going to start right here in the middle section. There's four rotating screens here. So the one we're on right now, this is Maths and Money. Let's go back to Maths and Money. Maths and Money, the Investor Symposium. So what's really exciting is that each year, Maths and Money puts on an Investor Symposium in Atlanta. And it's a 3-day event, well, 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights event. And it's free. It's free to all of our investor clients, anyone who's interested in finding out more about the investing, their dependents, beneficiaries, their friends, their family. It's free to attend the conference. Of course, there are some costs involved, like transportation and hotels, but SmartPlan is providing the two-night hotel stay to our clients. We do have limited seats available, but we have limited rooms available. So if you're interested, you would need to give us a call as soon as possible because the seats are going to run out quickly. But what is the Investor Symposium? This is, like I said, a 3-day event. It's in Cincinnati, and It's jam-packed full of education, entertainment. Mark will be speaking. This is Mark. He's the CEO of Maths and Money. If you're not familiar with what Maths and Money is, this is a company that we team with to bring our clients these portfolios that utilize these Nobel Prize-winning economic methods. So Mark is the CEO of Maths and Money, and his company puts on this event each year. This year, one of the speakers is going to be Gerard O'Reilly, and he is the Chief Investment Officer and Head of Research at Dimensional Fund Advisors. Dimensional Fund Advisors is just it's a very large fund company that we actually use to hold our funds. And then Eric here, he is the only blind man that has ever climbed to the summit of Mount Everest. And so he's just an amazing speaker, very inspirational, and he'll be there along with other speakers. But when we arrive that night, we're going to be treated to a private concert from Montgomery Gentry, and they are a country superstar duo. They're amazing. If you just Google them and look up some of their songs, if you're a country fan, you probably know every single one of their songs. So if you want more information about the symposium, it's all right here on this page. Okay, let's go back out to our main page. We'll continue with here. Our theme here is getting you on the right track. Anybody that knows Roy knows that he is a train enthusiast. He likes to collect model railroads, and so we like to stick with that theme. And so we want to get you on the right track, and we want to help you stay on the right track. So this is just some information about our services and let's see here. And then Dave Ramsey. Any of you who've been with us for a while, you'll know that we're the endorsed local provider for the Dave Ramsey Show. Dave, he at one point lost everything, and he built his wealth into a huge empire. But what he does is helps people get out of debt and stay out of debt. And so he has a lot of resources available to you and to those around the world through classes that could be held near you. So if you're looking for a class on that, he also has his radio show, and you could click on these links. Here's a little video if you just want to know a little bit more about what Dave Ramsey is all about. And then you can also click here to read more about Dave Ramsey's story, and you can read all about him. Working. All right. And then let's see, the last one the last one is just kind of getting to know the staff here at SmartPlan. We have a Meet Our Staff page, and so each staff member is here with a little bio. Our email addresses can be found here, so if you need to contact any one of us, that's where you can find our email addresses. Some of the special features here, we'll look at the Fact Finder first. Fact Finder can also be known as a tax organizer. Each year, you could get from your tax preparer this tax organizer, and it's pages and pages and pages of a bunch of information, some of which will apply to you and some of won't. So what we did is we kind of broke it up and try to make it a little bit more manageable. So each person that comes in to do their individual return, we would have them fill out this 2-page organizer or fact finder. We just want to make sure that the information we have on file is accurate. We want to make sure nothing has changed from the previous year. And then, of course, we have some options that we need to, every year can change. So we're going to have to ask you a few questions about that. So we'll try to give you a couple pages for that. Then we always have you sign our payment policy and our privacy policy. And then 2 years ago, new to IRS's reporting of foreign assets, so we just have to ask you if you have any foreign assets. So we try to make it short and sweet. And then from there, usually the interviewer will sit down with you and they'll go through these additional questions. Most of the time when you get into an interview, the interviewer gets to know you pretty well, and so they can get through this list much faster than a client can, because we know which things to kind of skip over that won't apply to you. But sometimes people just want to really look and see what else they might be able to deduct, and so they might want to look over this. This is probably the most important section on there. Is we just ask you a couple questions like home office, rental income, farm income. These things then, if you answer yes to any of these, we would have additional forms. So the whole idea is to get you to not have to fill out too many forms, but to gather enough information that we can accurately prepare your tax return. So a lot of our clients are not even local. So this was our 2014 tax process for those who are not local. We asked them to pick one of the fact finders above, if more than one if it applies, to complete them, and then they can submit them using our secure client portal, which I explained right up here is our secure client portal. Logs in, they just use their email and password, and then they can open up their portal and upload documents just like you would to an email. And then we get a notification that you put something in your portal, so it's really easy. Also, if somebody wants to do that and then have an appointment in office, they can give us a call. Or they can utilize, again, the client portal, because we ask that you don't send anything like with Social Security numbers or anything like that through the email. We want to make sure that we're using our secure client portal for that. Here, just in the red, is just to let you know that we do the tax returns as they are received. And, you know, we can receive up to 20 in a day. We're getting them all different ways through fax, email, walk-ins, appointments. So it does take a few days, sometimes longer to get a tax return done, but they are done in the order they're received. We're very organized here. We have a spreadsheet that has everybody on there, and so we're not going to forget about you. You don't have to worry about that. But what would you bring to your tax appointment? What do you need to provide your tax preparer? So here's just a list of some of the most common things that you would bring into your tax preparer. And then the tax preparer, once they have the interview with you, they'll let you know if there's any other documents that they may need. However, it's really important because as much as we try to get to know our clients and understand their situation, things change from year to year, so it is the responsibility of the client to let us know if anything has changed. If they bought a car last year, if they moved, like there's important information that it is up to the client to share that information with us. But that is where you will find the fact-finding information to give to your preparer. We do have an online version, however, it's slow, and the underlying company that we work with to build this site, they're working on that, and until it's up to our standards, we're just going to ask the client to just fill out the paper one instead of the online one. So that's the fact finder. This is the client portal information here. There's a nice little video here. Like I said, it's just like uploading to a folder. It's just like doing an email. It's really simple and easy. But we have two options. Maybe you just need to send something to us, but you don't want to have a portal that you're going to constantly be putting things into. You can use Secure Send. And Secure Send looks pretty much just like an email. So you say who it's from, and then you pick who you want it to go to, and then you would just upload your file, and then put your message here, and it would send, and then it would come to us. So that's another option. You can either use the portal or you can use the Secure Send option, and we'll look over those again in just a minute. The client budgeting tool. What's really cool on the investing side is that Max and Money has worked with us to bring this ultimate wealth management solution to our clients. And we did a webinar on that last week, so I won't get too in deep with it, but it is an aggregation where you can see all of your financial information in one secure location. So your bank accounts will be there, your loans, credit cards, investments, properties you own. You could do a budget there. As you see, it says budgeting made easy. You can set up goals. Do you have to pay for your child's college, or do you want to buy a house? And you could set up those goals and see how you can reach that goal. And tracking your investments, and then the vault. And the vault is real quick. It's really cool. it's a way to store important documents like your wills and trusts and maybe even pictures and videos and stuff. If you were to have a fire in your home, if you have everything uploaded to your secure vault, then you'd have a place to access those at any time. And what's really neat about it is if something were ever happened to you, then your beneficiaries would have one secure location to go find your information, so that it would just make things run a little bit smoother at the time of death, when it's already a difficult time in their life. And security on the program is very strong, 2 times stronger than most of the banks. It's called 256-bit encryption. They have security questions that you can answer each time you log in for added security. It only allows you to log in from so many different computers before it's like, hey, I don't recognize you. So it's very secure in that sense. So if you want to know more about it, here's some question and answers and how to get started if you'd like to start using that. So you really would just gather up all your user IDs and passwords for all of these institutions, start connecting it, start working on your budget, and start storing. And that is a free service that we do provide to existing clients. The last thing we want to look at is, where's my refund? We get calls, I don't know how many throughout the year, people asking, where's my refund? Well, it's really easy to find out where your refund is. You just go to the IRS's website. Here's a link right here. You enter your Social Security number, your filing status on the tax return, and what the amount of your refund is, and it's going to let you know the status of that. So this is our home page, and since we have an investing firm and a tax accounting firm, so we have 2 sections here. This is just a little synopsis about the CPA side, and then down here is the Registered Investment Advisory service. And there's a great video down here if you get a chance later to take a look at it. Over here you'll see the featured articles. Here's starting a business, 5 things you must know. Filing amended tax return, claiming an elderly parent as a dependent. So these are all of our newsletters that get sent out, and then we have them stored here as the featured articles. So at any time you can look right here. So we're going to start here. We have a tax coaching and investor coaching system. Under the tax coaching system, we have the About Us page. And then under the About Us, we have the Meet the Team, which we looked at before. We also have our values, which we looked at before. And again, the blog, so the Financial Communicator blog, Robert's blog. So that's all under Tax Coach and About. Now, services for individuals. We provide personal financial planning, estate planning, and elder care. Business services, small business accounting, payroll, part-time CFO services. You can see all the different options that we provide. Under tax services, we do tax preparation. We'll take a look at that. So tax preparation is really after the fact. It means the year is over and you have to file a tax return on the information that has already been reported to the IRS. So we're doing after the fact. But there is something called tax planning, and it's really important because a lot of people do not take advantage of this. But it is a way for us to legally, morally, and ethically reduce your tax bill. So throughout the year, or after you've had your taxes done, probably around September is a good time to come in and say, okay, let's talk about what I can do going forward in the next year. What things can I do to keep more money in my pocket? And so that's a different service. It is not tax preparation, it is tax planning. We also help individuals who have IRS issues, owe back taxes, have levies, IRS seizures, any of these types of things we can also assist with. Also, we do provide bookkeeping services, accounting services, and we do support QuickBooks. We do have our own program that we use here, but if you are using QuickBooks, then we can also assist you. So, investor coaching program. So we've just talked about the tax coaching program, and now we're going to talk about the investor coaching program. And why choose us for investing? Well, we think you should choose this because we're using institutional funds and not retail funds. And the purpose of that is to lower cost to investors. And we're capturing market returns of like 19 different asset classes, not just like S&P, which is just U.S. large, just one asset class. And why is that important? Because of diversification. And we're diversified in 56 countries right now, and we own over 12,000 companies worldwide. You can also learn about the Nobel Prize-winning methods that we use, free market portfolio theory, efficient market hypothesis, modern portfolio theory, and the three-factor model. So you can click on these links and read more about that. I love this chart here. This is just showing asset class returns from 2000 to 2014. At the top, you can see for each year who had the best returns. And you cannot really predict which area of the market is going to be doing better than the next. So that's why it's so important for us to be diversified, and that's why our portfolios do that. Next, you can read about our philosophy. We also have another great video here from Dimensional Fund Advisors, and it does talk about those Nobel Prize-winning theories that we utilize. Some of the other services that we provide here is called the MRI. It is actually an in-depth look at your portfolio, whatever you currently have. We'll take a look at that, and we'll see what's really going on inside that portfolio for you. So that's just one of the services that we provide. Many people know that we help individuals with IRAs and IRA rollovers, but we actually can help with any one of these types of accounts here. So we can do 401k plans and 403b plans, inherited IRA plans, educational savings IRAs. So if you are like, I'd really like to invest with SmartPlan, but I invest at my office 401k, well, you can put us in touch with your plan sponsor, have them get in touch with us, and we can do an analysis for them and show them the options that we have available utilizing, again, those Nobel Prize-winning methods in these portfolios that are available to them as well. What's really cool for employer-sponsored plans is that we're able to take a fiduciary role for them. The plan sponsors usually don't even know that their personal assets can be liable. So if an employee is really upset after 20 years of working and says, I don't think you did a really good job of picking options that you provided for us, and they want to sue them, and then they find that that person, the plan sponsor, didn't do their due diligence, didn't provide the best options to the employees, then their personal assets are liable, not the companies and not the investment advisor that they were using, but that plan sponsor. So we're going to want to try to eliminate that, and so that's what we're able to do in those employer-sponsored plans. So yeah, if you look here on services, employer plans, we talk about the risk to the plan sponsor, and then if you see here, did you know that ERISA outlines the fiduciary responsibilities of plan sponsors? If you click on responsibilities here, it's going to tell you exactly what they're liable for, who is a fiduciary. And so this is really important information for any plan sponsor to know. Next, we're going to talk about education. At SmartPlan Investing, it's our top priority to educate our clients. That's why we're doing Webinar Wednesdays. So this is a free coaching program to our investor clients, as well as anyone who just wants to know a little bit more about investing. So we do have some live events, and then we do the webinars. So we have an events calendar, as you can see. Here's today's event, and then you can see the next 2 Webinar Wednesdays are already on the calendar. And you can go forward, and you'll see a Webinar Wednesdays all up there. So if you ever want to know what's going on at SmartPlan, you can check out our calendar. At the bottom of the page, there is a register button. So if you do want to attend one of the webinars, we just ask that you fill that out so we know that we can be expecting you or any of our events. The next thing I want to point out is Maths and Money Live. Maths and Money has a live internet show each Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss topics that are vital to coaches and their investors. So what's really cool is Mark is the original investor coach, and he not only coaches his advisors, but he also coaches the investors. So there's nothing hidden. This is open to all of our clients to take a look. Anyone who just wants to know who is Maths and Money, what is this philosophy that you guys believe in, and that's every Tuesday, and it's free, and you can tune in, and you just click on the Maths and Money Live link, and you can watch them. So Tuesday at 3 p.m. How else do we educate? Again, the Investor Symposium. Mark puts on this amazing symposium every year, and so our clients, that's another way that we use to educate. So we have our webinars, our live events, Maths and Money Live, and then the Client Appreciation or Investor Symposium annually. So there's lots of opportunity for education. We have some extras here. So let's see, we have coaching versus planning. A lot of you have heard of an investment planner, financial planner, or a financial advisor. And I think of it this way. I go to my girlfriends and I might ask for advice, and sometimes I take it and sometimes I don't. But they don't usually follow up with me to say, oh, did you take my advice? But what a coach does is completely different. If you've ever played a team sport, then you know that coach, he does not let you just do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. There's a plan, and you're going to stick to the plan, and he's going to keep you on track. And that's exactly what an investor coach is going to do. They're going to tell you when you're getting off track. They're going to help you stay focused and on track and doing the right things and sticking to the plan, sticking to the play, just like a coach is supposed to do. So there is a difference between coaching and planning. Also, another thing in the industry, planning tends to be more of a product sales type thing. So they'll try to sell you a bunch of products that you may or may not need, where an investor coach is not looking to just sell you some sort of a product. In fact, an investment coach doesn't even have a product to sell. We have what's called the investor quiz, or the 20 must-answer questions for you to have the possibility to have peace of mind about investing. And so these are our 20 must-answer questions. It starts with, have you discovered your true purpose for money, that which is more important than money itself? And if you haven't, then this here in blue, discovering your true purpose for money, would be the webinar or live event that you would want to attend so that you can discover what your true purpose for money is. And then you can look over these questions, read each of them, and then at the end, tally up how many yeses you have, and it has to be 100% yes to be a yes. And then you can see what you score down here at the bottom. If you get 90 to 100%, you're an amazing investor. If you get 30 to 40%, you're a discouraged investor, and you need to give us a call or attend webinars or attend live events or tune into Maths and Money Live, because knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you're going to understand, and the more it's going to help you towards that journey of peace of mind. So go ahead and take that quiz when you get a chance. Again, it's under Investor Quiz and Extras. And then we have a glossary. Sometimes we use some big words that people don't really know what they mean, so we just ask that you visit the glossary page if you don't know what a stock is, or asset allocation, or even what a bond is. This is a great resource for you to look over and understand what these terms mean. This is the Investor Basics page. Basically here it's just kind of the process of how we engage with the client. We want you to attend an awesome engaging event or a webinar. We'd like you to schedule a one-on-one meeting with our investor coach. And then we'd like to do an MRI for you. And then you'll come in and we'll review that MRI with you. Again, an MRI is just like when you go to the doctor and they have to look deep inside. Same thing we're going to do with your portfolio. Some people, they have 6, 7 mutual funds, but they don't realize that when we do an analysis, those mutual funds are holding all of the same stocks. So client thinks that they're diversified and they're not. So the MRI is going to expose that. And then we want you to decide, do you want to shift your personal experience of money from investing from a scarcity mode to an abundance mode? And if you do, you come on as a client and then you join the SmartPlan Investing Club. And that's the educational portion of our program. That is the webinars, that is the live events, and that is the community that we have built. The next page we'll look at is rules of investing. SmartPlan has 4 rules for investing: to own equities, to diversify globally, and to rebalance. And then we do not stock pick. So these are SmartPlan's rules, and you can read more about them and what these things mean, what does stock picking mean, what does market timing mean, and understand why we choose not to do those things. So you can read about that there. Again, we'll just take a look again at budgeting. The budgeting tool, again, that's our wealth management solution, budgeting all in one location, and that is free to our clients. Next, we'll look at the Client Center. We did already look at FactFinder, so we're going to skip that. The Client Portal, we've briefly gone over that. I don't want to play the video because when I play a video, it just, the sound and stuff doesn't come really well through here. So we're going to skip that, but you can watch that at any time. But you can you register for your Client Portal, and then you'd be able to log in to your Client Portal and upload documents if you want to send tax documents to us or IRS notices or anything like that. You can do that through the Client Portal. And then, of course, we have financial calculators. If you, let's just look at home and mortgage. So how much of a mortgage can you afford? There's all different kind of options here that you can click on. So you can look through these calculators. Many people find those very helpful. You can look at insurance, retirement, savings, taxation. You know, you want to know like what your tax rate is going to be, what is my potential estate tax liability. There's all different kinds of options here, so take a look at that. Secure Send, again, that's just, instead of signing up for a portal, you can pretty much just send an email through here, and it's a secure way to send files to us. So that's Secure Send, and you don't need a login or any password or anything. Now, the internet links for our clients who have businesses, W-4 forms, I-9 forms, these are all important. If you have an employee, they need to fill this form out. If you have the I-9 form, that's just to show that they are able to work in the United States. So there's just some links there, but there's lots of other links here that are available. Again, we have our newsletter. You can look at the current newsletter. You can look at older newsletters. Here's some tax tips, and all of that can be found here under newsletters. Previous, today's. We also have guides. You have life events, business strategies, investment strategies, and when you click on these, there's tons of information in here that you can take a look at. Asset allocation, how to diversify for maximum return. If you're a SmartPlan investing client, we're already doing this for you, but you can read. There's just tons of great information here that we would like you to take a look at and get familiar with. There's business strategies, investment strategies, tax strategies, and then frequently asked questions. And then here's the Tax Center. Again, we've already looked at looking at where's my refund. We've done that. If you ever want to know when things are due, especially if you're a small business, each month it will tell you what's coming due, tax deadlines for that, as well as personal, Tax Center. Tax rate, right here, this is 2015, single taxpayer, 2015 married and joint. So you can see what, if your income is between a certain range, what your tax rate Could be here's links to IRS publications. If there's any publication that you need, there's a link to pretty much anything. Charitable contributions. People have questions about that all the time. Partnerships, corporations, and we're going to have a webinar coming up that's going to talk about the different types of entities and how to choose the right entity for a small business. That will be coming up in a few weeks. Let's see here. Record retention guide. We get calls all the time. How long do I need to keep this? How long do I need to keep that? So here, if you look at personal records to keep, it will tell you exactly which type of records and then how long that you need to keep them for. Business records to keep forever, personal documents to keep for 1 year, personal documents to keep for 3 years. So there's no need to call. There's all this information right here on the website. State tax forms. We are so fortunate in the state of Florida. We do not file state of Florida income tax, so that's one benefit. The guy called me yesterday and said, so I moved to Florida and I gave myself a raise, and I said, congratulations. 1040 calculator. 1040 is what your personal income tax return is called. It's called a 1040, and so you can use these calculators. Again, they're just all here for you as well. And then, of course, we talked about Dave Ramsey and who Dave Ramsey is. So if you want to learn more about him, you can just read it there. The client budgeting tool, we're not going to go over that again, but here's answers and questions and how to get started. And then really important is our policies. You know, we have a fee policy. You can read all about our policies on our website. How do we charge for our services? What do we charge for? So that is all located on our website. So we have a fee policy you can read over, a quote policy. That's like if we're going to give you a quote. We don't usually give out quotes on tax returns. We may give you quotes for accounting, but that's usually done in a contract and stuff. Our payment policy, if you want to know about our payment policy, it's here as well. And then our privacy policy. And we don't give any of your information out to anyone. If your son calls up and says, my mom passed away and I need to get her tax return, unless they provide us the proper paperwork to show that, we can't give them any information. We can't even tell them you're a client. So it's privacy is very important around here. The only thing that we share information with is the like the IRS. If we're sending a tax return, it goes from the software to the IRS, things like that. But your privacy is really important to us, and so we just want you to know that. It's important that if you don't have a will in place, that you get that in place so that they, you know, whoever your surviving beneficiaries are would be able to gather the information that they need. Believe me, it's a heartbreaking time to lose someone they love, and then to try to gather up information on an estate and do the proper work that they need to do when they can't get the documents. It's heartbreaking. But legally, our hands are tied, so if you do not have a will, I just urge you to do that. If you don't know where to get that done, we do have somebody that we can refer you to. And then lastly, the Contact Us page. Here's our business location, our email, phone number, our address, and how to get to us. So there's a map, and then there's detailed directions. So that concludes our Getting to Know Your SmartPlan website. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, and it was great seeing you guys today.